Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name is Miranda, and today I'm going to be talking all about getting my nipples re-pierced. It's been 2 years since I first had them done, and I have an old video all about that experience, and I figured since I got them redone, I would answer questions that you guys had, so I asked you guys on Instagram to ask questions about anything regarding the piercing, and today I'm going to be answering them, and I hope that this video is helpful to anyone who is interested in getting the piercing. My hair looks really stupid today, so that's why I have my elf ears on and a flower crown, because it just fixes it not looking as good. So yeah, if you're curious about me getting them re-pierced and you want to learn more about it and whatnot, then just keep on watching. First question, I don't have a specific order, I'm just reading them from the most recent question to just all of them. On a real level, how bad does it hurt? I've heard some people say a lot, some say hardly. Personally, I mean, it's not unbearable. I mean, if it was unbearable, I wouldn't have done it twice, if that tells you anything. I mean, it hurts, because, come on, you're getting a needle shoved through your nipple. I mean, it's not going to feel amazing, so, I mean, it's going to hurt. You gotta expect it to hurt. Everybody has a different pain tolerance level, so, I mean, if you get hurt by things very easily, you probably won't enjoy it. I'd say my pain tolerance is pretty high, where it really wasn't that bad. I mean, again, I did it twice, so I don't think it was a big deal for me personally. Why did you take the original piercings out? How difficult is the aftercare, to keep them, clean and stuff? I took them out originally because for a couple reasons. So, first reason was because on the left boob, one of the balls just would unscrew all the time, and there would be times where I would wake up in the morning and then it would just be missing, it would be off. And it just annoyed me so much, and I would put it on as tight as I possibly could again, and it would still just come loose. And obviously I probably could have just switched to jewelry and then it wouldn't have been a big deal. But still, it annoyed me so much. The second reason is because there was one morning where I'd woken up and one of them was bloody. And that's, normal. I mean, if it gets moved around, it's gonna, irritate it. But I feel like it just kept getting set back in the healing. And it just wasn't worth it anymore at that point. I mean, at that point, it had already been 9 months since I had it, because I had done a 9-month update, and I had taken them out after that point. So, I mean, it was 9 months after I'd gotten them done that I woke up, and it was just so set back in the healing, because, I mean, you have to let them be, because the healing this is also a question I know I'm going to answer later, but the healing can take up to a year for some people. Typically, the common thing is 6 months, and by that point, it was 9. I mean, I was in between 6 and 12 months for it to be healing, and it should have not been as bad as it was for how far along it was. And I think that I didn't take care of them. I wasn't super cautious with what I was doing. So, I mean, if they got knocked around, it was just oh well. But this time around, I'm going to be so careful and just try to not touch them and not move them at all. And hopefully that they don't get pushed around, because again, when you irritate them, the piercing can look good from the outside, but the healing on the inner part of the nipple where it's actually pierced, that can take such a long time to heal, because it is such a sensitive area, and the tissue has to, fix itself because it got punctured, basically. But yeah, I mean, that's why I took it out, is because I just feel like it wasn't worth it at that point to keep having to deal with the healing just not being good, and it wasn't where it was supposed to be, I don't think. So I just got annoyed, to be honest. How long does it take to pierce your nipples, and how long are they sore after? The piercing itself, I mean, altogether, I would say it took 15 minutes tops. Only because you have to wait for them to set up. But the actual piercing literally takes like a minute for both boobs. First, I guess I'll explain how it happens, like everything. So you walk into, the piercing shop, tattoo shop, wherever you're getting it done. You have to fill out the waiver, the paperwork, and you have to, sign, and they make a copy of your ID, just because they have to for records. Then I had to sit and wait while he set up, the needles, and he gets everything out already, to have it all set. And then you go back, you sit down, I took off my shirt, and then he takes like a marker, and then, he draws the little purple dots of where exactly he's going to be piercing, just so he has a guide of where it'll look the most even. And then you use the clamp, and then you just pierce it. The actual piercing itself, without the drawing and without waiting for setup, it literally takes a minute. Like, for both. Like, once you're dotted and ready to go, I mean, it's quick. It's not, that bad at all. It's not like you're waiting and like, oh my god, I'm so nervous. Like, it's not a big deal, honestly. It's very fast, and it's not, anything that serious. How long were they sore after? I mean, they're, right now, the first 2 days, I would say, is, where you can be doing absolutely nothing and you'll still feel them be sore. Because, right now I'm sitting here, I don't feel them. Of course, if you nudge them, it would hurt. But, I mean, as soon as you get them pierced, it's sore. You can feel it. It's not, unbearable. It's not, a horrible pain. But it's oh, I feel that. It's not too good. But, I mean, you give and you take. It is what it is. But yeah, I would say the first 24 to 48 hours are when it is sore without touching them. Just sitting around hurts. If that makes any sense. Would you say they hurt the first time getting them more than the second time? No. I would definitely say the second time hurt a lot more than the first for a couple reasons. One, you kind of know what to expect. When you first get your piercing done, for the very first time, you have no idea what to expect of how it feels. And I feel not knowing and not knowing what to brace for helps it not be as painful. Second of all, I'm going through scar tissue. Another question was did he pierce them in the same spot that they were before? And I don't know. I don't know where they were before, but I mean, you want them to still be straight, so I would assume he kind of put them in a similar spot just because to make them not crooked, because they weren't crooked the first time, so I would imagine he would put them pretty in a similar spot, and that's going through scar tissue, which usually hurts more than just breaking normal skin. But I definitely think that knowing how it feels is worse than the first time. I mean, I would say it definitely hurt a lot more the second time than the first, but again, it wasn't horrible. I mean, I'm fine, I'm living, it's good. Would you have a preference for a woman for it to be less awkward for you, or are both as awkward or not awkward at all? I've never had a woman do my piercings. It's always been, both times I got them done, it was a man. They're two different men, though. I went to a different place this time because I went to the place where I got my 2 most recent tattoos, and I just liked that shop a lot more. But I said this in my very first video, and I'll say it again. you are paying for a service. It's completely a professional setting. The guy who actually did my piercing this time, he actually had his done too. So we were, talking about that, and he ended up taking his out too because, again, his healing wasn't as progressed as it probably should have been. And it was just like, again, one of those things where it's like, is it really worth dealing with all of this just to have it not heal correctly? So yeah, we were talking about that. And again, it's just a very professional setting. You're paying for a service. It is a service. Personally, I like my boobs. So, I'm not like insecure about them necessarily. That's just me personally. I know some people, don't like their boobs. And the piercing, I think, can definitely help. If you don't like them, maybe a piercing can help you be like, oh yeah, they're cute. Like, it looks cute, I feel like they can definitely help with confidence. If you're on the edge about them, I would definitely just do it. Because you can always take them out, and they close up really fast. That is one thing that I will say, is that if you take out that piercing and you, sleep overnight, it will be closed. You will not be able to get a bar through it again. I was very surprised at how fast they closed. I think I didn't expect them to close as fast because I was immediately regretting taking them out, as much issue as they caused me. And that's kind of why I got them redone, is because I did miss them and I did like them, but I just didn't want to deal with all the issues that I was having with them. But definitely they close up very fast. So if you're thinking about getting rid of yours, just think about it for a long period of time, because once you take them out, it's very quickly that they close. Just fair warning to you. Oh yeah, I wouldn't say it's awkward to get them pierced. Like I said, it's a service. I'm there in a professional setting. It's not like they're being weird about it. This is their job. They've seen everything pretty much. So that's just the way that I go about it when I, get them done. Like I said, I'm not really that insecure about my boobs. I think they look nice. So that's just me. How does the pain compare to other piercings? How do you bear the pain? Thing is, I can't compare this piercing to anything else. My septum feels very different than your boob. I really can't compare the pain because they're two completely different types of pain. The septum is a very sharp pain. It makes your eyes water because your nose is so sensitive. With the nipples, it's like, it hurts, but it's not like a sharp, stinging feeling. It doesn't, I don't know how to explain it, but I can't compare it to anything else because it's not like anything else. So, now how do you bear the pain? It lasts 10 seconds that he's actually piercing it. That's the worst part, is actually getting it pierced. It's sore after, but it's not that big of a deal. I don't think it hurts as bad as when you're actually getting it done. So, it's not that hard to bear. You just kind of deal with it. What made you want to get them pierced? The first time that I got them pierced, I'm not really sure. I think I just wanted them because I thought they were cute. The second time was because I missed having them the first time, so I just wanted them again because I wanted to take cute nudes. Let's be real here. I've gotten a lot of questions from people that had them, like I did, and then they want to get them redone, and a lot of people have asked if it hurts more. And I kind of answered this, but yes, I definitely think it hurts more the second time. Again, one, because I think you know what to expect, and two, because you're going through scar tissue, most likely. So, it's not horrible though. You just kind of know what to expect. I think that kind of makes it hurt more because your brain's like, I know it's gonna hurt. While the first time you're like, I don't know how bad it's gonna hurt. Does that make sense? I don't know. How painful, healing time / process, and do they get in the way of daily life? Painful, on a scale, the second time, I would say it's like a 6 out of 10. Because, like, it hurts. And, like, you know it hurts. Like, and this goes for pretty much everything. But the second piercing always hurts more than the first. It is the strangest thing I've ever experienced. Is that the first one is like, okay, it's not that bad. And the second one is like, I felt that. That is the only way I can explain is how it feels. It's just like, damn, I felt that one. It is so weird how the second piercing always hurts more than the first. I don't know. It's weird. Healing time / process. You know, I have a sheet that I was given, and similar to what I did in the first video, I will copy down important facts off of that sheet that the piercer gave me, and I'll have it in a paragraph in the description if you want to read, like, very detailed, like, things about it. Just based off of the first ones, I mean, the care is pretty much the same, where it can take up to 4 to 6 months. For healing, of course, it can take up to a year, depending on if you experience any setbacks with the healing. I've seen a lot of people that have piercings. I've seen it on Twitter, where I saw a girl complain that she used, like, a loofah, and it got caught. And it's like, the paper literally says not to do that. When you clean them, you're supposed to lather unscented soap in your fingertips. They can't get caught on your finger. You're not supposed to use a rag that has bacteria. You're not supposed to use a loofah that has bacteria, and they both are fabrics that can get easily snagged on the piercing, which hurts a lot. You're not supposed to do that. Like, don't do that. Don't clean them with any sort of rag or loofah or anything that's not your hand, because it's got bacteria, first of all, that can irritate it and infect it, which can cause the piercing to either be rejected or you're going to have to take it out because it is infected. But yeah, like, don't do that. It hurts. Like, just use your hands. That's what it says. Daily life, I mean, it's not really affected. The only thing is that, like, when I lay down, like, on my stomach or my side, I just have to be very mindful of how I'm laying. But most of the time, like, you can press, like, I can press down, like, on my boob, and, like, I don't feel them. Like, it doesn't hurt. I mean, like, if I knock them around, it'll probably hurt because it'll slide it in and out. But when you just press them down, like, I can lay on my stomach as long as I just lay down very slowly and gently, then I can sleep that way and it's fine. Definitely I think that I won't sleep shirtless a whole lot, which kind of sucks because I like to sleep with no clothes on. That's just how I sleep. But I definitely think that maybe having a shirt on and it doesn't really add protection, but it just adds an extra layer against, like, my sheets getting caught on it or, like, the mattress rubbing up against it. I don't know. I know I slept shirtless a lot when I had them before, and now I've kind of been trying to wear shirts. Sucks. You hate to see it, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm trying to save them. But yeah, daily life, it really isn't affected. The thing is that when I'm at work, I have to wear a bra now. I try to wear a bra when I'm going, like, to work or something, just because I have to wear a vest. I just, I don't want them rubbing up against anything while I'm working, because I am, moving and lifting stuff at work. And a bra, I've gotten this question a lot too, which I probably will get to. But you can wear a bra. It is advised that you do, honestly. Just because it prevents your shirt from rubbing up against the piercing. And a bra kind of adds a little shield, kind of. You can wear bralettes as long as they're not, like, really lacy. Just anything laced, anything knitted, those can get caught a lot easier. Like, this cotton t-shirt is not going to get caught on it. I mean, it's a t-shirt. The stitching, obviously, is not, like, loose and, like, it doesn't have holes in it. But anything that's like knit is like really like risky as far as it has a higher chance of getting snagged. Same with bralettes, like most of them, like if they're mesh, if they're like if they have lace on the outside of it but still have like a safe layer on the inside, I think that's fine. You just want to be careful, of course, when putting on bras and stuff, but you are able to wear them. That's kind of just what I've adjusted to, is wearing a bra when I'm working and not sleeping shirtless, which is sad. But what kind of clothes / bras do you wear during the first few days / weeks of healing? To be honest, I've just worn a normal bra. Most of my bras are push-up, so I mean that's what I've been wearing. I have worn a bralette a few times just because it's not as, it's not as heavy, it's not as tight as like a normal bra because it's summer here and like I don't like sweating. And as far as shirts, I've just worn normal, t-shirts and stuff like what I normally would wear on an everyday basis. I haven't worn any knit. If I were to ever wear like a sweater, I would definitely wear a bra with it just to avoid anything getting caught because it hurts a lot. We'll say that. It hurts a lot. How much does it cost / is it worth it? The cost, like my first piercing, the first time I got it done, was $40. The second time it cost me $54. So I would say anywhere between $40 to $60 is like the standard, like stereotypical price for them. I would say it's a reasonable price for them. And I got both done. So obviously if you only get one done, it probably would cost less. But yeah, I mean, I would say it's not that expensive for a piercing for what it is. I would say it's worth it because I like how they look. But, if you're on the fence about it, I would say just to do it. I think they're cute. You might really like them, So, I personally think they're worth it. I mean, if they weren't, I wouldn't have gotten them done a second time, Do they hurt if they're up against clothes? Like, are they uncomfortable sometimes? Yeah, I mean, if you rub them up against stuff, if they get caught on anything, it is very painful. And you just want to try and avoid that as much as possible because that sets back the healing. I've said that so many times, but it's true. It sets back the healing if they get irritated and pushed around because it kind of, the tissue that is in the process of healing on the inside, I mean, when it gets moved, you're kind of ruining all the progress that was made, if that makes sense. So, I mean, but like in my normal t-shirts and stuff, they really don't hurt. They don't get rubbed up against anything from what I've experienced so far. But I have tried to be very careful about them. So, just don't be careless, and I think you should be fine. Are they noticeable when wearing tank tops or anything like that? What's it like for the first week after getting them done? Honestly, the first week is no different than it was 9 months later for me the first time. Has it been a week? It has not been a week yet. On Thursday, it'll be a week. But I mean, I'm feeling fine. I mean, this week is not going to feel any different from 3 weeks from now. I mean, now it's just in the process of letting them be and just trying to be the most careful that I can be so I don't irritate them more. They are noticeable when you wear tight shirts. I mean, if you wear a tank top, normally, like without a piercing, and you're cold, I mean, you can see your nipples through your shirt if you're cold. Like, so, yeah, you're going to be able to see a piercing, because if you can see a normal nipple by itself, you're going to be able to see a piercing with it, if that makes sense. But yeah, you can see them if you wear tight clothes. So, if you don't want them to be seen, don't wear tight stuff without a bra. Okay, the last question is it hard to function, go out, work, etc. when just getting them pierced? How do you clean them? Plus, how often? What would you say is the average price range? Okay, the price range I kind of said was between $40 and $60 is what I would say is like a good, reasonable price for them. Is it hard to function? I would say no. Like I said, when I go to work, I just make sure I wear a bra. Just because I do work for like 9 hours typically during the day, so I just want to make sure nothing's rubbing up against them again when I'm lifting and moving stuff around. But functioning is like fine. I mean, sleeping is fine. I haven't had any issues yet with them. I haven't had them get caught on anything so far. Like I said, I've been a lot more careful and a lot more mindful of them the second time around. I think a good idea if you're going to get them, if you don't want to wear a bra, is you could get the little pasties that just like stick over your boobs, because they're like a band-aid kind of. Or you could just wear a band-aid over them and just make sure the sticky part obviously doesn't touch the piercing, but just the skin around it. That reminds me, this time that I got them pierced, my boobs have itched. Like the skin around the piercing has itched a lot. And I don't think it's an allergic reaction because I'm not breaking out into hives. But I think it's just because my body's like, there's a foreign object like inside you that shouldn't be there. It's not irritated or anything, but it has just itched. And I don't think I'm allergic to the bar because I've had them done before. I don't think I'm allergic to the numbing gel that they used, because right now they don't itch or anything. But it has been really strange because I did not experience that the first time that I got them pierced. But the second time, my skin has just like been itching so bad. It's like a mosquito bite that just won't go away. And it's like all around my nipple. And it's horrible. But right now, I think it's getting past that stage. I've been using anti-itch cream to prevent that. So just, I don't know what caused it. I think it's just my body being like, there's something in you that should not be in you, so we're going to try and reject it. But I don't think it's rejecting it because it doesn't hurt. And it's not like being weird or anything. Like it's not reacting bad, if that makes sense. How do you clean them? Like I said, you just want to lather some unscented soap in your fingertips, and then you just kind of gently massage them, and then you rinse them. I'm pretty sure you can do it like up to twice a day, just because you don't want to overwash them because that can irritate them and kind of aggravate the piercing, which you don't want. But you do want to clean them every single day. Probably morning and night is when I usually do. And yeah, I mean, like I said, that little sheet that I have, I'll list off all the specifications of like what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do. And that's a lot more detailed than just these questions specifically, if you're curious about that. But yeah, those are all the questions that I have. If there's anything that I missed, just go ahead and ask down below, and I will answer with anything that you may have. I'm happy to have them again, and if you guys want, I can do another update later on in the year once a few months have passed, because before I did a 9-month update, so I can do that again, and hopefully I feel a lot better about them than I did the first time around. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. I hope you guys are having a great day. I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!